morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio. So today, we've got a whole bunch of news, some really awesome new products that we need to be having a look at and a chat about. So let's get rolling, shall we? Now, starting off, the lovely folks over at TotalCards.net, very good website of which we should all be fans, have brought us news of the 2020 Pokemon Collector Chest. Now, this is the kind of thing we've seen before, and it's going to feature 5 booster packs, 3 foil promo cards, a cool Pokemon coin, 2 colourful sticker sheets, a mini portfolio to store your favourite cards, a Pokemon notepad and 4 pencils, and a code card. They've always got a code card. Now, this is one of those where, in terms of if you just want to buy a present for your niece, nephew, whatever, these make really good presents. In terms of their viability for collectors, it really depends on the promos. There was one a while ago that had the Magearna in, and it was the actual only way to get the Magearna, which was a really good counter to the Rainbow Road Xerneas. So that was quite cool. More recently, we saw it come with the free birds, the Zapdos, Moltres, and Articuno promos. So that was quite cool. Really is going to depend on what promos we get as to whether these are actually going to be good. Now, this is coming out on the 3rd of April, so we're a little way away yet. But it's time to get excited. Speaking of which, you should get excited for the other product that Total Cards have brought us word about. The Galar Pals Mini Tins, not the first set of mini tins we've had. And these are the cool little tins where you put them together and they make a piece of artwork. And inside each tin you get 2 Pokemon booster packs, a coin, and an art card featuring art from the tin. So you can put the tins together, or you can buy all 5 of the tins, grab the art cards, and put the art cards together to make yourself a nice little picture. Now, the thing is, we don't actually know which ones are going to be featured. The predictions from Total Cards here are Grookey, Sobble, and Scorbunny, who are, of course, the first partner Pokemon from the Galar region, which seems fairly sensible, and then they are suggesting Wooloo and Morpeko. Now, if we have a look at the Kanto Friends tins, we can see that we had the first partner Pokemon, and then Pikachu and Eevee, that we had like a Farfetch'd in the background, and a Magnemite, and a Chansey, and a Magikarp. And an Oddish, I believe, there as well. But the point is, we're not talking the big fancy evolve Pokemon, we are talking the lovely little they're going to evolve later Pokemon. The cutesy little ones, as you would. And these seem perfectly sensible. I mean, really, these kind of products tend to focus on the Pokemon that are being featured on merch. So if we, for instance, have a look at a Japanese website, you can see the merch here does feature the first partner Pokemon Wooloo and Morpeko. But we've also got a Galarian Ponyta, a Yamper, and a Cramorant. You should expect tins like this to feature these kind of Pokemon. So don't be surprised if Morpeko goes away and gets replaced by Yamper, for instance. But these are the kind of Pokemon you should be expecting. They're the kind of ones it's quite expensive to buy them all, but they really are better when you have the full set of 5. And while we're talking about cool new products that are very much in the vein of products we've had previously, how about the new Pokeball tins that we're getting? Now, these have been shared by the lovely Matthew Varive at Immunity, and we can see they're very much like they've been before. Except, generally, what you would get is 5 of one and 1 of another. So a while ago, you could get, say, 5 Pokeballs in a carton of 6, and then there would be a single solitary Quick Ball. And then, of course, the Quick Ball would be sold for more money, and people would take it out, and blah, 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 blah. Well, it seems like they've changed a little bit. What they've done is gone to, instead of having 5 of one, 1 of another, they've got 2 of one, 2 of another, and 2 of another. And what we see here is Dive Ball, Ultra Ball, and Pokeball. So these are very, very cool little products. We've not actually seen Dive Ball featured yet, and I'm fairly sure we've not seen Ultra Ball featured yet, though we have seen Pokeball previously featured. So my point is that they're cool little Pokeballs, and even though the Pokeball is likely to be, well, it depends, I suppose. On the one hand, I want to say the Pokeball is going to be less in demand, because we've had it before, and on the other hand, kids are still probably going to want Pokeball over the other, whereas nerds like me are probably going to want the Dive Ball. The point is, they've changed slightly, so now we've got a 2-2-2 split, rather than a 5-1 split. What do you get in them? You get yourself a Pokeball, and 3 booster packs, and a Pokemon coin. That's what's in them. That's what they come with. Cool. And according to the lovely Matthew Arrive, these should be releasing on the 27th of February. Now, the 27th of February is fixing to be a rather busy day, quite frankly. Because one of the other things that we're getting on the 27th of February is the Galar starter tins. Now, they've actually got Grookey, Sobble and Score Bunny on the tins, but they feature Rillaboom V, Cinderace V, and Inteleon V. And what's kind of weird here is we've actually got 2 different designs of tins. The old style, where you can only see the top of the card poking out the top, and the new style, where there's a window where you can see the cards much more clearly. And the good news is that means we have seen the cards nice and clearly, and we know what they do. Now, for my money, the best of them is Rillaboom V. Rillaboom V for 4 energy does 220 damage, though 30 to itself. And this is going to make a really, really nice deck with the Rillaboom that we know is coming in Sword and Shield. The one that lets you search your deck for 2 grass energy and attach to itself. And I think that is going to be a deck in the very same way that Vikavolt Tapu Bulu was a deck. As in, it's a stage 2 that searches your deck for 2 basic energy, and then you attack with a big, beefy, double prize attacker. It's very, very similar decks. Now, I do also quite like the Cinderace. The ability giving it free retreat if there's a stadium in play is meh. But free energy 140 is actually not too bad. When you bear in mind Welder can get 2 of the energy on, so Welder attachment for the turn, you're good to go. And you're actually hitting more damage doing this than you would, for instance, with free energy on a Heatran. Though do please remember Heatran's got the ability and the really nice GX attack as well, so it's not quite as straightforward as a calculation as it might otherwise be. As for the Inteleon, I love Inteleon because Sobble is my boy. But I am really, really struggling to find nice things to say about Inteleon V. I just don't think it's a particularly good card. I want it to be a good card. I'm desperate for it to be a good card. I just don't think it's a particularly good card. For 1 energy, you do 40 damage to one of your opponent's bench. Great for taking out Ditto, but isn't really beefy enough to be taking out a whole bunch of other Pokemon on the bench, which is sad. And then the really confusing one for me is 2 water, 1 colorless energy, 130 damage. Your opponent reveals their hand. Except it's then the end of your turn. So looking at your opponent's hand isn't really gonna do very much. You get a whole bunch of information about what they're likely to do, which then instantly becomes irrelevant, because then they do it. This is one of the more confusing attacks I've seen. I've done full analyses of those 3 cards. I will link them in the description. The last product I want to talk about today is another one, which has been shown off by the lovely Matthew Arrive, and another one, which is coming out on the 27th of February. And it is the Toxtricity V Box. Now, the Toxtricity V Box is going to come with 4 Pokemon booster packs. Incidentally, that's what the Galar partner tins come with. And a foil promo. But it also comes with an oversized foil promo. The only difference in contents between the tins and the Toxtricity box is that the Toxtricity box does come with a jumbo promo, whereas the tins don't. And Toxtricity is a little bit disappointing for my money. One colourless energy, attach a lightning from your discard pile to this Pokemon, is awkward because you're then just sitting in the active letting your opponent have a free hit, which I'm not convinced is particularly sensible. As for free energy, 120 plus poison, you can use Thunder Mountain Prism Star and you can use Tapu Koko Prism Star to essentially take it down to a single energy attack. But then you could also do that for Tapu Koko V, which is a better Pokemon. There are others, but let's just go Tapu Koko for now. Now, the one thing I will say here, if you are building a poison deck, maybe using something like the new Toxicroak, for instance, adds 2 on for poison between turns, then I think we could be getting somewhere, but I do think it needs to be its own poison deck. One thing to mention is we are very, very likely to be getting V Max of all 4 of these Pokemon V in the next set in Japan, or in the next mini set and the next set. So, even if some of these look underwhelming to you at the moment, we might end up having to play them in order to play a particular V Max. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Lots of new products coming out, mostly on the 27th of February, to be fair. And lots of things about which to get rather excited. And I would like to know which of these are exciting you, which of these are looking good, which of these you're going to be running out to buy. So go nuts in the comment section. But please do remember the rule. Be nice, would you? And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at The Wassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassyPlays, where you can find out about a whole bunch of games that don't have Pokemon in but are still brilliant. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.